Hello friends. In our previous class, we learned that behavioral finance studies the human side of financial decisions. Today, we are going one step deeper. We are going to study the basic assumptions of behavioral finance. Before we begin, let me ask you a simple question. Suppose two friends receive the same scholarship amount of rupees 10,000. One deposits it in a bank, the other spends it on a new mobile phone. Why did they make different decisions? Of course, these two may have different priorities, different thinking, different family background, or different goals. Both had the same amount of money, but they behaved differently. Behavioral finance tries to understand why people behave differently while making financial decisions. Today's class is based on 6 important assumptions that explain this behavior. This reminds us that financial decisions begin in the mind before they appear in the wallet. But why do we need these assumptions in the first place? That's our next question. Look carefully at this slide. On one side, we have traditional finance. On the other side, we have reality. Traditional finance assumes that people behave like robots. It assumes people are always rational and always make the best financial decision. But in reality, people are human. Sometimes they act because of fear, greed, excitement, impulse, or emotions. This difference between theory and reality gives rise to behavioral finance. I have a question. When you go shopping with a fixed budget, do you always buy only the items on your list? Probably no. Why? Sometimes we buy extra items simply because they are on sale or because they look attractive. That decision is not purely logical. Behavioral finance helps us understand these real life decisions. It explains real decisions made by real people, not by perfect decision makers. So, what is the first assumption of behavioral finance? This is the first and one of the most important assumptions. People are not always rational. Traditional finance assumes that people always think carefully before making decisions. Behavioral finance says something different. Our decisions are influenced by our emotions, experiences, biases, and mental shortcuts. Look at the brain illustration on the slide. It reminds us that our brain processes information in different ways. Sometimes we think logically, sometimes we react emotionally, sometimes we depend on past experiences instead of analyzing the current situation. What do you think? Can intelligent people also make poor financial decisions? Yes, good education does not always guarantee good financial decisions. Even experienced investors sometimes make mistakes because they are human. Read the key sentence on the slide. We think we are rational, but we often are not. This is the foundation of behavioral finance. Let us see how this happens in our everyday life. This slide gives 3 very simple examples that all of us can relate to. The first example is shopping. Suppose you go to a supermarket to buy one notebook. But after seeing attractive offers, you return home with 5 different items. Did you really need everything? Probably not. The second example is a restaurant. Sometimes people choose a crowded restaurant simply because many others are eating there. They assume if everyone is here, the food must be good. The third example is an online flash sale. When we see messages like only 2 hours left or limited stock, many people buy quickly without thinking carefully. Notice the key message at the bottom. It says that our real life decisions are often influenced by emotions, habits, and social pressure, not only by logic. Dear friends, have you ever bought something online just because it was on a discount? Maybe that is a simple example of behavioral finance. The same behavior can also be seen in investment decisions. Now let us connect this idea with investing. Look at the sequence shown on the slide. First, the share price increases. People become excited. An investor buys the share because the price is rising. He believes if it is increasing today, it will continue increasing. But after purchasing, the price suddenly falls. Now what happens? The investor feels regret, anxiety, disappointment. Notice the important lesson at the bottom of the slide. People often buy when prices are high and sell when prices are low. Why? Because they are influenced by emotions rather than logic. This is one of the biggest mistakes made by many investors. Then, what should an investor do instead of following emotions? He should study the company, analyze the investment, think long term, make informed decisions. Behavioral finance teaches us to recognize our emotions before making financial decisions. From the discussion so far, we learned that people are not always rational. Now, let us study the second assumption of behavioral finance. Look at this slide carefully. It says that our emotions influence our financial decisions. Whenever we make decisions about spending, saving, or investing, our feelings often affect our thinking. The slide shows four important emotions: fear, greed, excitement, and regret. Let us understand each one. Fear makes people avoid risks. For example, after hearing news about a stock market crash, some people stop investing altogether. Greed pushes people to take unnecessary risks because they expect very high returns. Excitement makes people act quickly without thinking properly. Regret makes people hold on to bad investments because they keep hoping that prices will rise again. Let me ask one thing. Have you ever bought something simply because you became excited after seeing an advertisement? Our emotions often influence our financial choices. The first step towards making better financial decisions is understanding our own emotions. Okay, let us now see a real investment situation where emotions completely change an investor's decision. This slide explains how emotions influence investors during a stock market crash. Look at the sequence shown. First, the market suddenly crashes. Share prices begin to fall rapidly. Now the investor becomes worried. Instead of thinking calmly, fear takes control. The investor starts believing, I will lose all my money. Because of this fear, he immediately sells his shares. But what happens next? After some time, the market recovers. Prices begin to rise again. Now the investor feels regret. He thinks, I should have stayed invested. This is a very common behavior in financial market. Here what happened actually? Did the investor lose money because of the market alone or because of his emotional decision? The market moved as usual, but the investor reacted emotionally. That emotional reaction caused the loss. Behavioral finance teaches us an important lesson. Stay calm, think long term, make rational decisions instead of emotional decisions. Emotions do not affect only investors, they also influence our daily spending habits. This slide gives three examples that every student can easily understand. The first example is a festival sale. Suppose you visit a shopping mall during a festival. There are discounts everywhere. Although you plan to buy only one item, you end up buying many more. Another example is a flash sale. When a website says offer ends in 10 minutes, many people buy quickly because they fear missing the opportunity. Next example is impulse buying. Sometimes we buy something simply because it looks attractive. Later we realize that we did not really need it. All these examples show that emotions such as excitement, urgency, and peer influence affect our spending decisions. These are practical examples of behavioral finance in everyday life. What should we learn from this? Our spending decisions are influenced by emotions, not just by logical thinking. Now, let us study another interesting assumption about the way our brain thinks. This slide introduces another assumption called mental shortcuts, also known as heuristics. Before explaining the term, let me ask you a question. Suppose I ask you, what is 15 multiplied by 18? You will probably calculate it. But if I ask, what is 10 multiplied by 10? You answer immediately. Why? Because your brain uses previous knowledge to save time. Our brain often uses mental shortcuts to make quick decisions. These shortcuts are useful because they save time and mental effort. However, they may also lead to poor financial decisions. Look at the brain illustration. Our brain cannot analyze every situation in great detail. Therefore, it simplifies decisions. Sometimes that works well. Sometimes it creates mistakes. Read the key message on the slide. Heuristics help us decide quickly. But they can also create biased or poor financial decisions. What do you think? Is making quick decisions always a good idea? No. Quick decisions are useful in some situations, but financial decisions often require careful thinking. The next slide introduces some common mental shortcuts that people use while making financial decisions. This slide lists 5 common mental shortcuts. The first is availability heuristics. People depend on information that is easiest to remember. For example, after seeing frequent news about a market crash, they believe investing is always risky. The second is representativeness heuristics. People judge a situation based on similarities instead of proper analysis. Third is anchoring heuristics. People rely too much on the first information they receive. For example, if a mobile phone was originally priced at rupees 30,000 and is now available for 24,000, many immediately think it is a good deal without checking its actual value. The fourth is herding heuristic. People simply follow what others are doing. Finally, overconfidence heuristic. Some people believe they know more than they actually do and therefore take unnecessary financial risks. Have you ever bought something because your friends recommended it without checking it yourself? Maybe That is an example of following a mental shortcut. Why this happens? Our brain uses shortcuts because they save time. But good financial decisions require careful thinking, analysis, and self-awareness. So far, we have learned that our brain uses mental shortcuts, also called heuristics, to make decisions quickly. Now, let us see how these shortcuts work in a real-life investment situation. Look at the flow chart on the slide. A student wants to invest in the stock market. His friend tells him, this company is doing very well. Buy this share immediately. Without checking any information, the student purchases the shares. After some time, the market falls and the share price declines. The student suffers a loss. Where did the student make a mistake? The mistake was making an investment without proper analysis. Notice the steps shown in the flow chart. First, the student hears a recommendation, then he buys the share, he ignores research, finally he suffers a loss. This is exactly how mental shortcuts influence financial decisions. A smart investor should always pause, think, analyze, and then invest. Thus, we have learned how our own thinking affects our own decisions. Now, let us study another important influence, other people. This slide introduces our fourth assumption. It says that people are influenced by the behavior of others. This is called herd behavior. Before explaining further, let me ask you a simple question. Suppose you are walking through a market. One restaurant is completely empty. Another restaurant is crowded. Which one will you probably choose? Most will answer the crowded one. Why? You may think food must be good. Many people are eating there. It looks popular. Sometimes we assume that if many people are doing something, it must be correct. This is called herd behavior. We often follow the crowd because we want acceptance. We think others know better. We want to avoid making mistakes alone. Sometimes this behavior is helpful. For example, following traffic rules because everyone follows them. But in financial decisions, blindly following others can become dangerous. Always remember, think independently before making financial decisions. So far, we have seen that people are influenced by emotions and by other people. Now, let us study another important assumption. This slide tells us that investors never have complete information. Look at the magnifying glass on the slide. It reminds us that we are always searching for information, but no investor knows everything. Every financial decision is made with limited information. For example, suppose you are planning to buy shares of a company. Can you know tomorrow's profits, future government policies, future competition, unexpected world events? The answer is no. Investors collect as much information as possible, but complete information is never available. Can any investor predict the future with 100% accuracy? No. That is why investment always solves uncertainty. Gather the best information available, think critically, and make informed decisions. Even when information is available, another problem arises. Can we pay attention to everything? This slide explains another important assumption. Our brain has limited attention. Every day we receive information from many sources. Look at the illustration. The student is surrounded by mobile notifications, news, social media, stock market updates, emails, advertisements, etc., etc. Can anyone pay attention to all of them at the same time? No. Our brain automatically selects some information and ignores the rest. Sometimes important information is missed or ignored. As a result, poor financial decisions may be made. Have you ever missed an important message because your phone was full of notifications? That's a simple example of limited attention. The same thing happens in finance. Sometimes investors focus only on exciting news and ignore important financial information. We cannot focus on everything. So sometimes important information is ignored. This is why successful investors carefully filter information and focus on what is truly important. Okay, we have studied 5 important assumptions of behavioral finance. Next, we will learn the 6th and final assumption, which is called short-term thinking or present bias. Look carefully at this slide. It tells us that people often prefer immediate rewards instead of larger future benefits. This is a very common human behavior. Let me ask you another question. Suppose I give you 2 choices. Option A, rupees 1000 today. Option B, rupees 1200 after 1 month. Which one would you choose? Some students will choose rupees 1000 today. Others may choose 1200 later. This is exactly what behavioral finance studies. Many people prefer getting something immediately, even if waiting would give them a better reward. People naturally give more importance to today's happiness than tomorrow's benefit. Short-term thinking can lead to impulse buying, lower savings, missed investment opportunities, higher debt, poor long-term financial planning. Why do many people find it difficult to save money every month? They want to spend immediately. They like instant enjoyment. They don't think about the future needs. Present bias makes today's happiness appear more valuable than tomorrow's security. Read the key takeaway. Think beyond today. Good financial decisions today create a better tomorrow. We have now completed all 6 assumptions of behavioral finance. Let us revise everything through one final summary. Look at the infographic. It summarizes the 6 basic assumptions of behavioral finance. Let us revise them one by one. Assumption 1. People are not always rational. Our decisions are influenced by emotions and experiences. Assumption 2. Emotions influence financial decisions. Fear, greed, excitement, and regret affect the way we save, spend, and invest. Assumption 3. People use mental shortcuts, heuristics. These shortcuts help us make quick decisions, but may also lead to mistakes. Assumption 4. Social influence and herd behavior. People often follow others instead of making independent decisions. Assumption 5. Limited information and limited attention. No investor has complete information and no one can pay attention to everything. Assumption 6. Short-term thinking, present bias. People often prefer immediate satisfaction instead of long-term benefits. Look at the key takeaway shown at the bottom of the slide. It says, these assumptions help us understand why people are not always rational and why better financial decisions require self-awareness, discipline, and the right strategies. I would like to conclude today's class with a simple message. Finance is not only about managing money, it is also about managing our minds. Thank you.